Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl Becky D, live in the morning, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. As always, y'all know we got to do it big. I actually have a special guest on with me this morning. He is definitely, truly a brother from another mother and another mister, but I love him the same as if he was came out the same mama and daddy that I did. Okay, I got Kwanzi on the line with me today, and he's gonna help me continue our topic on strength, but definitely in a mind and body way. Okay. I don't know if any of you are familiar with jujitsu. I didn't know about it until he introduced me to it. Something that he used to do, but hopefully that in the near future he'll get back into it because it was pretty cool to watch. Not saying I would do it, but it's pretty cool to watch. But I'm gonna let Kwanzi take it over and tell us a little bit about yourself, Kwanzi.
Um, Totally unprepared. I still get nervous. Yeah, I'm Kwanzi. Just a little rundown. I'm a nerd, married man, working man, and I think those things kind of played a role into why I stopped. Although my best friend, who's also my teacher, my wife said that's not an excuse. I believe him. I'm probably just lazy, but um, yeah, it's just I did jujitsu for a little bit. Um, it's not really a game of strength, although it plays a factor, but it's more so technique. So, you know, just to run down of it, jujitsu is a ground sport. It's done on the ground. You can incorporate other things like judo, which are tossing stuff to get your opponent from standing up to the ground. But jujitsu is a game of chess, so to speak, outthinking your opponent. And again, going back on topic, there are cases where you will have to outmuscle them. So, if you're a strong guy, a little small guy under a big guy, you're going to need a little bit of strength there, and you're going to need that strength of mind to try to, counter everything that he's doing to get the upper hand. It's a very, very fun sport. It builds discipline. It can build muscle. I've lost weight from it, but of course I haven't done it in a while, so I'm kind of getting that weight back. Uh, but it trains you. As far as the body and mind goes, it trains those muscles to become stronger. And as far as the mind goes, it teaches you to kind of stay one step ahead, expect the unexpected. Just staying ahead. As far as the body, of course, it's a contact sport, so you're lifting people, throwing people, tossing people, using your strength to try to pull certain joints and muscles to get your opponent to submit. Um, I got into it because it was something that I always wanted to do. Grew up, watching Power Rangers and anime and Cartoon Network, Dragon Ball Z, things like that. So when I finally met my best friend Garrett, he at the time he was a purple belt. He's a black belt now, and he's like, "Yeah, man, come train." So I go try it out. Absolutely love it. It's I'm saying this very loosely, but it's not for the faint of heart. Anybody can get into it, but if you're going in with arrogance and cockiness, you'll be humbled very, very quick. I've seen Garrett toss around people like three times his size, like rag dolls, and those people were never seen or heard from again. And which kind of bring it back to the strength of the mind. Their mind, I feel, wasn't strong enough to understand what kind of game they were playing. So coming in with, I guess, as far as jiu-jitsu goes, a weak mind, when somebody outsmarts you mentally and physically, you just kind of say, yeah, this isn't for me. Which in fact it could be. You just have to humble yourself. You have to come in with a humble mind and a humble heart. So if not, yeah, you're definitely going to get, you're going to get it handed to you. Um, but honestly, I recommend everybody try it at least once. Um, and not necessarily just jujitsu, just any martial art. Just honestly, just to get on that, just sports, because on the topic, anything like this can strengthen you mentally, and and I would definitely say try it out. It gets your brain going, it gets your muscles going, and I mean, once you start, you do not want to stop. There's always more to be learned. There's always more, to be taught. There's a lot to it, and it's a very fun sport. Um,
I mean, just trying to put my 2 cents in here, okay? Because, like I say, I mean, I know I really want to focus on the strength of the mind and strength of the body, but I mean, technically, if you play chess, that's like a good strength of the mind game, right? Because, I mean, I'm good at chess, and I don't have to feel intimidated by throwing people across the floor. Like,
yeah, it's one and the same. I mean, I've talked smack when it came to chess. I've talked smack to people about chess. I'm like, yeah, man, you can't beat me in chess. Yeah, I would totally wipe the floor with you. And I'm talking about one particular moment with my buddy Ben, incredibly smart guy, and he beat me within 10 moves, and it just left me mentally struck. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, man, I already knew what I was going to do from the start of the game. I was just leading you into it. And I was just like, wow.
so I really like
So,
what you just said there, that he said that he already knew what he was going to do. He was just leading you into it. Like, that's a lot of times stuff we don't think about, that like some people, they're already manipulating us to do what they want us to do, and we don't even realize it. Like, so even in every day, we have to watch out for stuff like that. So I mean, it's funny how
oh yeah,
chess and other sports like this can, like, relate to your everyday life. It's really amazing.
even in jiu-jitsu, you can, our instructor tells us, you know, a man who's trained a move, well, not a move, a man who's trained a technique 1,000 times is better than a man who's trained 1,000 techniques. Meaning,
Ooh.
you can train, you can know 5 different techniques, but if I took one of those techniques that and train it 1,000 times, I would beat you every time.
Man, oh, I like
hmm
him. I like him. Oh, you ever
So
had something just
definitely,
hit you and you just like,
so
wow.
it just in that one saying alone shows strength in the mind and the body. You had the mental strength to you had the physical strength to train that one technique, and the mental strength to remember it, know every ins and out. So all you will have to do is just get your opponent in the situation, and then you've won.
That's true. That's definitely true. Oh man. Just by any chance, you could just drop me his line later. But because homeboy spit knowledge. He spit knowledge. But so staying on that topic, like really focusing on that. With being that we know that you haven't done it in a while, and you are going to get back into it. I'm just speaking that into existence. How do you think it's played a significant difference? Because you kind of took that break, do you notice a difference at all? Besides that, you said you was probably picking back up the weight, but any other difference than that, like energy or anything like that?
Oh yeah, my energy and stamina has depleted. Um, there are workouts that we do, like warm ups, and I can probably do it right now and will not be able to do as much as I would if I was training on a regular like I used to. Um, Not as limber as I used to be. Um, as far as mental state goes, um, I can remember some things, but the transitions have kind of faded. So if I were to get on the mats now and rep out some rounds, I would probably, hesitate a lot. You'll see me thinking like, oh, what do I do from here? Like, okay, well, I got here. What do I do from here? And by that time, my opponent has already flipped me over and tapped me out, or I'm out of breath. I'm just tired, which has happened. I go sporadically, and it's funny because my partner will be repping something out on me. So he's like either resting on my stomach or resting on my chest. And Garrett's like, wait, stop right there. I want to show you something. And I'm like, Garrett, tell him to move. I can't breathe. And then he just looks at me like, well, if you come to class on the regular, you won't have that problem. And I'm like, I hate you. Because you're right.
I mean, but that's good too that you kind of have that accountability partner there, and it's a family. It sounds like even when I came down just for that day, it sounded like you all were pretty close and everything. So I really like that aspect too, because I mean, just from playing sports in high school myself, a little bit of college, I mean, it was a family. Like you grow a bond, you get closer, and it becomes something that you always want to go to, and you start talking outside of it, and you start relying on these people. They become like your immediate family.
Oh yeah, it definitely is a family. You you got your sensei, who's like a brother or father. It's just how you just see people. So everybody that I've trained with, we're always brothers and sisters in their own right. Garrett, who's now taking over the school, he's always going to be my brother. But like all things, it's like a job. So you know how they say when it comes to working with family, So there's times where Garrett would tell me to do something. I'm just looking at him like, don't tell me what to do. Then I have to realize, yeah, he is the instructor, so I do have to do what he says.
Yeah.
So, it, but
Okay.
it's a very fun sport. So if you have a school that's close to you, I do recommend checking it out. You will not regret it. No matter how tired you get, how hard you're breathing, in some cases, I mean, accidents happen and people will tend to get hurt, but they still come in. I mean, I've had you know, guys and girls come in with braces, casts, and they're like, I mean, although I can't go at it, I can still back to the topic. I can still watch and train my mind and just rep things out in my head for that when I do heal, I'm not missing out.
That's
You know.
wow.
So
Wow.
there's that. So
That's dedication right there.
dedication.
That's definitely dedication.
Yeah, dedication.
And that, I mean, woo, I got to end it on that note. Lord have mercy, y'all. People coming in with casts and whatnot. But nah, it sounds like something that I do believe everybody should get into. That's of course why I had to bring you on so you can talk about it. Cause who better to go to than somebody who has more knowledgeable than me? Me, I could come as a spectator and I wouldn't know about all those moves or whatever you call them. What are they called?
Technique.
Techniques. That's what it is. Techniques. Yeah. Uh, so I mean, And it's just something that we definitely have to keep in mind, that every day we go through life, there's some form of move or technique that needs to happen. It's just up to us to go ahead, prepare, train, build that family support that we need, as well as just continue to press on no matter what. So even if you can't get in the ring or you can't get on the mat, you can still go and support somebody else. So always keep that in mind. But before we sign off this thing today, Kwanzi, I know we were talking earlier. You were telling me that you were getting ready to start a podcast too. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, we've completed 2 podcasts so far. Actually, after this, the time of recording, like soon as probably after I hang up with you, I'm hitting up Garrett, and we're going to go shoot our 3rd podcast. Podcast is called Anime. I didn't come up with the name. I'm not going to give credit to myself for that. Our buddy Craig did. And it's a group of us, a group of guys who all we do when we link up and then just hang out is talk about anime, talk about things like Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Saturday morning cartoons, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, just anything a nerd could talk about is what we talk about. So me and my buddy Garrett just, he's like my brother. Matter of fact, he is my brother. I mean, brother from another mother and father. So we just got together and we were just like, hey, we talk about this stuff anyway, just sitting down. How about we just record it, put it out online, just for the fun of it? So that's pretty much what we did. If you want to follow us, I have a SoundCloud. Not everything isn't professional yet, but if you want to follow us on SoundCloud, look up Raheem Maple. That's RAHEEM space MAPLE, Raheem Maple. You can follow us on YouTube at Red Lightning Nerd. That's the color red, lightning as in lightning and thunder, and nerd. So you follow us on both of those. That's the only platforms we're really uploading to right now until we can get the hang of things. But if you are listening to this, I do want to give a shout out to Becky for allowing me to, do a plug in here. But if you guys are nerds and just want to, hear 2 or more guys, we're trying to get our other buddies in on it too. They just kind of like give us suggestions from the background, but we always shout them out. Just, hey, follow us, Anime and Beer, and we hope to see you. Just please support us. We're not really trying to get anything huge out of this. We're not trying to be famous. We just, we just want people to listen to us and kind of like, chime in. And we're just trying to spread our network, meet new people.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So it sounds like y'all got a good start up. I'm gonna definitely go ahead and post all the information that he just put in your ears so you can see it with your visual eyes. Okay, because that's the difference between a podcast, especially a podcast during COVID-19 right now. Okay, we can see each other because we're FaceTiming each other pretty much, and everybody else, y'all just get to listen. But
Yeah.
thank you so much again, Kwanzi, for coming on with me this morning. I really appreciate it. I know you had to adjust some schedule around and, lose a little bit of sleep there, but I really appreciate it. And anything, of course, as well as you need in the future, definitely don't hesitate. Any last words for the people before we sign off?
I just want everybody to be safe. I'm pretty sure Becky probably saw my Facebook post yesterday, but if your city, state has put out orders for you guys to stay home, or home, work, or essential order, please do that. Please don't be those people I saw just swimming at the beach. Like I said, normally I mind my business with things like that, but we're just trying to get over there. So everybody's, stay clean, stay safe, social distance. But do things to keep yourself occupied. Just try to stay sane out there.
Most definitely, most definitely. And as always, y'all know my favorite way to end is just to spread love. The same way I love Kwanzi is the same way I love everybody who is listening to this right now. I would never change that for the world, and I would never give that away. So as always, my name is Becky D with Becky D in the morning. I'm on here live with Kwanzi this morning. You all check them out. Check me out. As always, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. You all be safe and have a great Wednesday.